of NCOBRA, and another reparations activist here, brother, Mr. John Cheeks of the American Recovery Act. We'll come to this question. I'm gonna ask you here, I really wanna be, well, I wanna be, can I challenge you gently? Can I gently challenge you? Okay. The legislation, because I know you're not responsible for HR 40, right? There are critics, according to what we read, that are saying of HR 40, that say a study is not enough. And from what I know, NCOBRA is encouraging us to go well beyond study. Could you tell us, the audience here, what the National Coalition of Black for Reparations in America, what your current position is on HR 40? Is it strong enough, and what are you proposing as the future path from NCOBRA perspective? Wherever you desire, man. Whatever makes you most comfortable. Let's give her a hand, please.
First of all, Black Power.
Black Power.
Black Power.
Black Power.
I bring you greetings from NCOBRA. There are a couple of things I do need to make some corrections on. First of all, the original HR 40 was a study bill. That is correct. In 2016, it was very obvious that the harm against our people, the violence, etc., has been studied, restudied, and studied some more. Many scholars have written on it, so there was no need to continue to lobby for a study bill. And the bill was revised, and in 2017, with the 115th session of Congress, it became a remedy bill. So what we're asking for is to stand up a commission that will craft remedies that will address the multifaceted harms that have been perpetrated against the people. That's us. So it is no longer a study bill. It was rewritten and introduced in 2017 as a full remedy, full repair bill.
Okay, so let me ask, okay, thank you for the clarification. Let me ask a follow-up question to that. How do you respond to the critics of an approach for reparations through the U.S. Congress that states that this majority white body of the Senate and Nancy Pelosi are never going to really cooperate with reparations and give us full and complete reparations? How do you answer that charge that's coming from certain quarters?
I think you've already answered it. It's by any means necessary. Yes. So we do start by playing inside the rules of this is where we get started with the legislation. However, if necessary, then it has to be by any means necessary. So my charge when I came here was to talk about education and what NCOBRA is doing. So one of the other things that I need to correct, or at least try and get clarification on, and I think the brother left already, is his HR 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. You here? Oh, thank you so much, sir. Are those bills already introduced, or is this something that you plan to introduce somewhere down the road?
I would plan to introduce them within the next 30 days because so it's going to be, and NCOBRA is going to get a copy, Sheila Jackson Lee is going to get a copy, and we'll get a copy because it's going to be a draft for us to have a triggering mechanism for HR 40.
Okay, so just so we're all on the same page, there is already a HR 41, 42, 43, 44, 45 already out there. So, and I don't want anyone to walk away thinking that we're looking for those particular bills. They've already been introduced and they're out there. So to answer your question, sir, about what do we do, how do we tell people about reparations and who's and who's not for it. Right now, we have more co-sponsors on HR 40 than has ever been the case. For whatever reason, we all know that it's probably because we have candidates running for president or whatever.
Explain to them what you mean by co-sponsors to the, they
Okay.
might not be familiar with
All right,
stuff.
thank you. A co-sponsor is an elected official who comes on board and says, I support that legislation. So,
How many do we have? How many do you have now?
as of today, we have 90 co-sponsors for HR 40 on the House side, and we are not, we are excited, but we're not excited. You have 435 members in the House. So our charge is to continue. We actually rolled out a campaign where we're going to approach all 535 elected officials. That's the 100 senators on the Senate side and the 435 members of the House side. And our purpose is to ask for their support as a co-sponsor for HR 40 in the companion bill, which is S.1083 on the Senate side. On the Senate side, in the 2 months that it's been out there, we actually have 14 co-sponsors on the Senate side. And while these numbers may sound abysmal, they aren't, because never in the history of the push for reparations has there ever been that many co-sponsors. So this is progress, and